What up, nerds? My name is Matt, and this is my review of LEGO's A-Frame Cabin. This is set number 21338. It contains 2,082 pieces and retails for $180 here in the US. This set was originally designed by Andrea Lattanzio, an amazing LEGO Ideas fan designer from Italy. LEGO has tweaked this set to be a little bit smaller, a little bit more modular. It feels a little bit more bright and youthful, with more minifigures and more youthful minifigures than the original set. And basically it feels a little bit more like a vacation cabin rather than like a slightly scary hunting lodge. The instructions for this set are divided into two really beautifully designed books, I think, and partly because the landscaping elements are completely separate in this set, it makes for a really good set to build with a friend. I really love the illustrations on the covers of these instruction books just because of how vintage they feel, and they really feel like they suit the nature of this A-frame cabin. The instruction manual points us toward a particular way of assembling the figures for the set, but if you look at the box art and all the different versions on the front and back, you can get a sense that the designers for this set intended all the minifigures to be sort of interchangeable, so you can mix and match their torsos and leg pieces and heads and hair pieces in any number of combinations. All of the minifigures have two faces, which is great. Unfortunately, not all of the hair pieces hide the second face, so occasionally you might get a little bit of peeking from that second face behind the hairpiece. I really love the retro feeling jackets that come with these minifigures, from the pink and orange and yellow on the brown on the one figure to the sort of a puffy jacket with the fur hood and the blue zipper and other details on another. The two sweater torsos that come with this set are also pretty great. I would totally wear these sweaters, but I live in LA and it doesn't really get cold enough to wear sweaters in LA, in my opinion. Two of the legs are a simple one-color deal, while two of the legs are dual molded with an indicated sort of boot that each of these legs are wearing, which is pretty cool. If we look at this minifigure with the red jacket on, he looks super cool with his backpack all ready for a hike. This figure with the green glasses looks pretty cool, and I kind of like that at the outset at least they paired her with some green pants, which look really nice with those glasses. And the figure with the black hair and the black boots has this nice satchel or handbag or purse kind of thing. All of these minifigures look like they're dressed for a pretty brisk fall day, which totally makes sense with the trees that we get in this set. Now talking a little bit about the build experience, the A-frame cabin is super fun to build. I love building this set. The foundation for the set includes an Easter egg for Andrea, the Italian designer for this set, with a little Italian flag down there. It also includes a little acorn, because Italians love acorns and oak trees, maybe? I don't know. Also included in the foundation of this building is a little sand castle thing, or maybe a cardboard box or something. I'm not really sure. I think it's something the LEGO designer includes in a lot of his sets. The use of a whole bunch of Thor hammers in the foundation is pretty fun and awesome looking. It actually works really well. It was kind of fun to build and put that together. That, I think, was a carryover from the original designer's nice part usage for this set. There are really only a couple of spots in this build that feel a little bit repetitive. One of them is in the roof pieces, which are two large slabs of LEGO that are both identical, so you're gonna get some repetition there. The foliage is a little bit repetitive, and it's not my favorite part of any build, but it goes by pretty quickly, and at least they're different colors, so that makes it more fun. Mostly though, this set is super fun and interesting to build, with a lot of different environments and different sort of pieces that make it a pretty fun and interesting and engaging build throughout the whole process. I actually really enjoyed building this little shed and the wood pieces in there. Just seeing how that could be created from just a handful of pieces was pretty cool. I don't know, people talk about big ugly rocks, but I actually really love building these environmental pieces. I felt the same way about all the rocks and the foliage in the grounds of the Lion Knight's castle. There are also 0 stickers in this set, which was really great and a really nice surprise. The landscaping elements on each side connect pretty loosely with just some Technic pins, which works pretty well because you can slide them out, and it makes the set much easier to move and reconfigure if you want to do that. Like I said before, the roof pieces are identical and very easy to remove. They just lift right off, so you get really easy access to the interior when you want to see that. The second floor bedroom also lifts away really easily so that you can build that separately, which is nice to do if you have more than one person building this set, or you get really great access to the interior of the first floor. The trees are just a little bit repetitive to build, and foliage like this is never my favorite part of any build. I've seen a lot of people say that they wish the trees were a lot more dense and were a lot more like the trees from Andrea's original submission, which, I'm gonna have to be honest, those trees look like a nightmare to build. Maybe I'm just not good at foliage, but things get knocked off all the time and they're a little bit finicky, and then you're trying to get your little hand in there. I just don't find assembling foliage and trees that fun, and things want to fall off, and it's kind of a pain. So for anyone who wants more dense trees, I think you could totally do that. They would look nice with a little bit more density, I think, but I would probably not want to build the original submission trees, personally. I think given the piece count of the set and the price, these trees look pretty great. Overall, honestly, I really love this set. I think it's a great size. It's a perfect size for display. It's not so big that it's gonna take an entire table or not fit anywhere. It's just large enough to be densely packed with detail where they can fit in all kinds of Easter eggs and other details. This feels like a nearly perfect sort of little display model to me. Andrea's original set was awesome. I mean, it was beautiful. It looked great. It was a little bit bigger. It had a really interesting, sort of spooky, maybe slightly haunted vibe. But I think the direction that the LEGO designers went for here, feeling a little bit more athletic and activity oriented and more of like a vacation A-frame cabin, was great and a perfect choice, and probably the best choice for a general audience. I mean, I would come visit here. I would love to stay in this cabin. As someone who loves being outside, this cabin really feels like it has everything I would want if I were looking for a place to stay for a weekend in the mountains. This cabin also feels very dense and alive. The designers have managed to pack in a whopping 9 animals into the set. I'm counting butterflies and moths as animals, by the way. So there are 4 butterflies, or moths, 1 cardinal, 1 blue jay, 1 ardle. What's an ardle? That's not a thing. It's an otter. 1 otter, 1 frog, and 1 squirrel. Not a brown frog. You don't get a brown frog in this set. It's a green frog. The rocking chair at the front of the cabin uses whips in its construction, which I think is super funny and cool. The little rustic kitchen area inside is full of details like pans, knives, milk, a stove with some wood for burning, and a box of dishes. Yeah, they're in a box on the floor. There's not a ton of space in this cabin. One of the minifigures in this set is a writer and is working on this cool little typewriter on this sand green table, which I'm sure is a reference to LEGO's typewriter set. Someone who stays in this cabin is really into geology because there are 4 crystals or geodes here on display. We get a LEGO doormat, and then above the door we get a printed tile that's a reference to the super cool LEGO blacksmith set. One of my favorite little Easter eggs that comes in this set is this printed little tile piece above the bed, which is a reference to Andrea Lattanzio's other designs of like a blue house. So that's pretty cool, and a nice nod from the LEGO team. LEGO's A-frame cabin to me feels like the promise of adventure. There's pretty much everything you would need to go on some cool adventure in the wilderness in this set. There's a water bottle, a compass, map, binoculars, a magnifying glass, a camera, a guitar, an umbrella, life jackets and a canoe, a camp stove, and an axe. Pretty much everything you would need to have a good time. If you can't have fun in the woods with all that stuff, then maybe this set's not for you, I don't know. I also really love the record player and the little cabinet with music in the set. Those look great. But I sort of thought this cabin didn't have electricity. Do record players use electricity? The bedroom above also includes a cool little reference to the LEGO Ideas treehouse set, which I wish I had. One thing the set does not include is a bathroom. So if you're gonna wanna do your business, then you're gonna have to get that shovel, walk a good distance away from the cabin. No one wants to see you. You're gonna have to walk into the woods and dig that hole. Once you're done, you can take a shower out back here with a cool little outdoor shower. I wish I had an outdoor shower. I would use an outdoor shower if it was private enough, I think. There's a little bar of pink soap and what I choose to believe is a towel and not toilet paper. Here's the thing. Would you leave toilet paper outside? No. Why would you do that? Why would you leave toilet paper outside? No. You know, as soon as it rains, it's useless. Like, don't do it, folks. Keep it dry. The back also includes a water tank and a tank of fuel from LEGO's fictional Octane gas company. And while this set does not include the spooky spider web that Andrea included in his set, they did reference that with a little spider hidden up here in the rafters of the cabin. Is this set worth its $180 asking price? I think so. I love this set. If you like outdoor kind of builds, if you like little vignettes like this, if you were a fan of a build like the Lion Knight's castle, detailed dollhouse kind of things, which that sounds stupid, but you know, it's basically a dollhouse. Oh my god, I like a dollhouse. That's embarrassing. I like what I want. I think this set is awesome. It's super creative, it's packed with detail, it honors the original designer's concept. I think it's fairly priced, and if you're anything like me, then you'll like it too, I guess. I don't know. Buy it if you want, whatever. You do whatever you want with your money. I bought a drone that I've used like 5 times. I mean, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and subscribe below. If you don't subscribe, we can still be friends, but just know that I'm gonna ask you why you didn't subscribe. I'm gonna ask you. If we're at a Lego event and you talk to me, I'm gonna ask you if you subscribe, and you're gonna say, well, I thought about it. All right, that's enough for me. Later, nerds.